Hi, I'm Daryn Lewellyn. Welcome to this segment of MyToolboxTV. Today we're going to talk about multimeter safety. The most important thing about multimeters is only qualified people should be using them in a live circuit. To find out what qualified means, NFPA 70E and OSHA have guidelines on how to accomplish this qualification. Another important topic about multimeters has to do with the type. You have to use a meter that's rated to work in the circuit that you're testing. You have to have, if you're an industrial maintenance person, a Category 3 or Category 4 meter. Generally, I would say a Cat 4, and you're covered for most of those situations. It's also got to be rated for the proper voltage. You can't be using a 600 volt meter in a 1000 volt circuit and vice versa. It's got to be rated for voltage, and it's got to be rated for the proper category. And those categories are decided by a standard, what's called IEC 1010 standard. You can find that many places on the internet, and also you could find that on multimeter manufacturers' websites, when you can use that particular meter. Another very important thing about your meter is the fuse. You have to change the fuse in your meter with exactly the fuse that came out, the exact type and everything. If you're not sure the fuse you took out is the proper fuse, look at your manual. Look at your manual, it'll tell you what kind of fuse goes in there. If you don't have a manual, go online. Multimeter manufacturers have these manuals. Generally, you can download it as a PDF file. When it comes to the manual, you need to read the manual front to back, understand all the limitations and specifications of the meter you're using. You also need to learn how to use the meter in every setting that it's got, every function. If it will measure AC current, AC voltage, DC voltage, resistance, whatever it is, make sure you learn how to do all those functions. A lot of times we get in trouble with multimeters when we go from one function to the other. Lots of problems can happen if you were measuring low amperage current, for instance, yesterday. Today you're measuring high voltage, 480 volts, and you forgot to change your meter leads. That could cause a big problem. So become very familiar with how to do all the different settings on your meter. You need to know your meter. A meter is no place to cut your budget. You need to buy a good meter. It needs to be one that's rated proper category, voltage, and it also needs to have a laboratory testing label on it, like UL or CSA. You've got to have that. It's not a place where you go to the electronic hobby shop or a swap meet someplace or a flea market and change and just buy a cheap meter. You have to have a good meter. Before every use of a multimeter, inspect the meter. Make sure that all functions are working properly. Make sure you test the fuse internally. Every meter has a method on how to do that. You can follow that method. You can find that in your manual for that particular meter. If you don't have a manual, you can find them online. Just go to the manufacturer's website. Even discontinued meters, you can still download manuals in most cases. Also on your meter, make sure that you read and find somewhere on that meter where it says the category number. In this case, this was a Category 3, good for 600 volts. And make sure that your meter that you're using is capable of working in the circuit that you're going to use it for. Another important thing about the meter is make sure the leads are in good working order. Inspect them every time before you use it. Run your hands down the leads. Look for frayed wires, for cracked handles. Also, make sure that the leads are the right ones. Make sure that you read the voltage rating on the lead. You can see that it's printed on the lead. If it's not printed on the lead, throw those leads away. Get you some other ones that are voltage rated for the voltage you're going to be using the meter for. Hi, I'm Daryn Lewellyn. Welcome to MyToolboxTV, a video guide for the maintenance professional. We've created MyToolboxTV as a resource for you to find tips and techniques that will help you improve workplace safety and performance. Come often, download as many videos as you want, tell your friends, and drop us a line. Let us know what videos you'd like to see in the future. We really want this to become a resource that you begin to rely on. Thanks again for coming, and we'll see you soon.